good morning.
Good morning to you.
How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Good to have you here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Pale Facebook naona journalist double KR anasema Bamba Mariango Kilifi Kambe Giants well represented.
Thank you so much. So this was it last week actually?
Yes.
The High Court ordered the government to change the citizenship law to recognize children born out of relationships between Kenyan citizens and refugees in the country as Kenyans.
Yes.
We all thought that it's automatic, that if you are born in Kenya, you become a Kenyan citizen.
Not at all.
Could you break that down for us?
I am vindicated. Vindicated.
Yes.
maybe to throw some spanner into the works, we can start with what we normally see other people do.
Please.
We need to learn from history. When we were all looking at the now presidential aspirant Dr. Fred Matiang'i when he was Minister of Interior Security, yes?
Mm-hmm.
And then with the saga with the Miguna and the issue of a birth certificate and everything, and the clarification that was there that within the birth certificate or somewhere there, it actually indicates that the birth certificate is not a citizenship document. It is actually a notification of where you were born, but it is not
a citizen document.
It is not a document that grants you citizenship.
Oh. Wait, so Gona and I want to take you back.
Yes.
Gona, in school we're told you become a citizen by
birth, by registration.
It's the third one.
Naturalization,
right? Exactly.
But this is the thing that we lawyers say, the beauty of law, but the rest would say that it's the tricky bit with the law.
Yeah.
There are always conditions. When you say by birth, then you have to qualify who is it that is giving birth, or who are the parents to this particular individual. A child of Kenyan citizens born within the country then qualifies within that box. But still, they have an option of registration, because registration is actually what gives you the actual documentation. You may be born, but you need to now regularize it. You can't say, no, I was born in Kenya and that's it.
Now I'm a Kenyan.
Yes, you cannot say that. Because you have foreign diplomats.
Yes.
Both are here. Maybe you're here on a mission for 6 years, and then a child is born, and of course from the hospital you'll be given a registration document. But if that child is maybe of US origin, the US will grant you their citizenship, because the two parents are of US origin and they are citizens of that country. So ours is not, it's not a guarantee, it's not a given. You have to meet the threshold.
Yeah.
Yes.
And for instances where, so now the parent is a Kenyan, one of the parents is a Kenyan citizen,
yes,
and the other one is not.
Okay.
Doesn't that still give, because you see, we all this, even in marriage, there are instances where you get married to a citizen of another country.
Correct.
Naturally, you become. Do you?
No, not legally, but naturally. Yes, you're saying naturally you become a citizen, but legally you're not.
Legally you're not.
You have to regularize your documentation. And I understand your question. Maybe I can put it this way. You need to understand there are countries that do not grant dual citizenship. For instance, Germany. It was a fallacy for a very long time. People thought that Germany grants you dual citizenship, being a European country. But they don't. They have a special category of people born either in Turkey at a certain period of time that can be granted that.
Yeah.
Of course, in 2025, around June, they were trying to change their laws. So let's say a German citizen is in Kenya and gives birth to has a child with a Kenyan.
Yes.
So, of course, the expectation is that child born in Kenya and either the mother or father is Kenyan, then the child is Kenyan.
Yes. And also...
And the expectation is the same on the other side, that they would be German.
Yeah.
That is where now the registration comes in. Because the child cannot have dual citizenship, because the laws do not allow. So they have to choose one.
Oh.
So in those instances we see where people get to choose which citizenship grants you better welfare, better accommodation in terms of being catered for. We're talking about health services, we're talking about social services and things like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe the strength of the passport on its own. So people get to choose that this child will be German, or this child will be Kenyan. The operative word is or, not and. Or. It's either or.
So you cannot say I'm a Kenyan and then I'm also a German citizen just because I have my mom is German or my dad is Kenyan.
Socially, you can say I'm half Kenyan, half German, but legally you have to be of one. Unless you're talking about a country that allows for dual citizenship.
Yeah.
Then the dual citizenship kicks in. One is registered as a Kenyan. First of all, you have to understand that aspect of registration that grants you not only the birth certificate, but also a passport.
Yeah.
A registration document. When they attain the right age, it's now you have to be 18 to get an ID. But a passport, you can get a passport as soon as possible. So when you get a passport, that is a citizenship document because it declares your citizenship. So when you present this passport to the other side, you cannot get both if the countries do not allow for dual citizenship. But if they do allow, then you can. Then you have two passports.
Sasa kwa mfano mtu kama Salim, ama acha nijitumie mfano. Lakini mtu kama Salim awe ako na mtoto nchi jirani, Tanzania. Unasema kuna uwezekano kwamba huyu mtoto kule akapata passport pale. Na akipata hii passport atakuwa sasa yeye amekuwa citizen wa Tanzania.
Ndio.
Na kwa mfano sasa Salim amhitaji huku huyu mtoto. Sasa kama ni kutafuta kama hiyo passport, itabidi sasa kufanyiwe hiyo mipango ya dual citizenship kwa sababu tayari kule atakuwa kona ile passport.
Ile atakuwa ameregister kama yeye ni mtu wa nchi hiyo, citizen wa nchi hiyo. Hiyo ndio itachukuliwa kwa kwanza. Na nilitumia mfano wa huyu alikuwa si ati alikuwa yule wakili wa Kenya ambaye anaitwa Miguna. Miguna alizaliwa Kenya. Alikuwa na cheti cha kuzaliwa cha Kenya na akaenda kule Canada. Baada ya kwenda kule, kwa wakati huo hatukuwa na katiba hii ya sasa. Wakati huo tulikuwa na katiba ambayo ilikuwa inasema unaweza kuwa citizen wa nchi moja. Katiba yetu ilikuwa inasema ukichukua ya nchi nyingine automatically renounce ama umewachana na ile yetu. Sasa hapo ndipo alipatikana. Aliambiwa kipengee cha katiba kinasema wakati una renounce, ukitaka kurudi lazima ufanye application fulani. Ndio maana alikuwa anaambiwa jiwakilishe katika embassy fulani uweze kuwakilisha stakabadhi zako. Haiko sawa ama haitoshi tu kusema nilizaliwa Kenya, niko na cheti cha kuzaliwa cha Kenya. Sababu sheria ni sheria, lazima ifuatwe. Ingawaji tulikuwa na sheria mpya, katiba mpya ya sahi, wakati ule ali-renounce, katiba ilikuwa ile ya zamani. Sasa tukirudia mfano huo ambapo nashuku sana kama ni mfano.
Tutatumia.
Tukirudi katika mfano wako, lazima tuweze kujua kama nchi yetu na nchi jirani kuna huo kuelewana kisheria ya kuwa mtu anaweza kuwa mtu wa nchi hiyo na ilhali ni wa nchi nyingine, hiyo dual citizenship kama tunaweza isema hivyo. Sasa kama haiko mahali aliposajiliwa yule mtoto kwanza, hapo ndio sasa yeye ni mwananchi hiyo. Sasa tutasema kama yeye ni Mtanzania, yeye ni Mtanzania. Akitaka kuja Kenya, lazima aombe cheti cha usafiri na lazima aeleze kwa nini anakuja huku. Leo wewe ukitaka hata kama tuko katika Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki, ukitaka kusafiri, wanasema unasafiri either na kitambulisho chako kama wewe mtu mzima, ama stakabadhi zile ambazo utakuwa umepewa katika idara ya uhamiaji immigration, lazima wakupe stakabadhi uweze kwenda nchi jirani. Baada ya muda fulani walisema wataruhusu tu watu waweze kuingia hivi na vile, lakini hata kama ni kuingia hivi na vile, hiyo inamaanisha wameondoa ile visa, lakini lazima uwakilishe stakabadhi fulani.
Kwa hiyo kwa sasa yule mtoto tutasema
ni Mtanzania.
Kwa sahihi ni Mtanzania.
Kwa sahihi ni Mtanzania.
But
lakini babake
ni
wa Kenya.
Kama babake ni wa Kenya,
yes.
As we're using this as an example.
Yes.
Kama babake ni wa Kenya.
Na mamake ni wa wapi?
Na mamake ni wa Tanzania.
Yes. Na amezaliwa wapi?
Na amezaliwa Tanzania.
Yes.
So is there room for this kid to even apply for citizenship
in Kenya?
Like do these countries allow dual citizenships?
So the rules and provisions of dual citizenship vary from one country to another.
Yeah.
So we would need to confirm the country of origin that you're talking about, whether they do allow.
Okay.
Of course, in the Kenyan constitution, you're allowed to hold two citizenship. In Kenya, the current constitution, the immigration allows you for two.
Yeah.
So we have to check the country that we're talking about. If we are talking about Tanzania, does Tanzania allow that? If the answer is yes, then this child can make an application to become a dual citizen.
Yeah.
If not, then they still have the option of renouncing that citizenship and taking up new citizenship so that they don't have dual, but it's only one.
It's so complicated.
Very easy by the way. Utafikia hapo.
Nani I think one of us has led by example.
Kuna kaukweli mahali.
Yes.
Wakili. Ni kurudishe pale mwanzo. Miriam alikuwa amesema mtoto akizaliwa. But ile story alikuwa ameanza nayo. Hapa alikuwa amezungumzia wazazi ni wa Kenya, tukaenda Germany.
Yes.
Alafu nitakupeleka hata Marekani, lakini tuliapa hapo.
Ndio.
Ilikuwa ni ya refugee.
Yes, refugee.
Sasa situation ya kwamba baba ni Mkenya, mama ni refugee ama and the opposite.
Yes.
Sawa. Bado still because umesema
sheria zilikuwa zile.
Natural, umesema ni
naturalization.
So amezaliwa na baba na mama Mkenya. Okay, ni Mkenya lakini mpaka ajitambulishe.
Ndio.
Na huyu mwingine wa baba ni Mkenya, mama ni refugee, ama baba ni refugee, mama ni Mkenya.
Yes.
Huyo naye
sasa, kabla tufikie kesi ambayo iliamuliwa hivi majuzi, lazima tuelewe, tukisema refugee ama tunasema yule mkimbizi, lazima ako na country of origin, mahali ametoka.
Ndio, tuseme ni Somali.
Tuseme ni Somali ama tuseme Eritrea,
Ethiopia.
Tukimuita refugee hatuwezi, ama tukimuita mkimbizi hatuwezi kumuondolea ile hadhi yake ya nchi ambayo ametoka. Every refugee has a citizenship of a particular country. Unanipata?
Kwa hivyo wana vitambulisho vyao, wana document zao. Ni kwamba tu wanakimbia.
Ni wakimbizi kwa njia moja au nyingine. Sasa ndio maana vile ambavyo tumechambua hii maneno ya registration, tukaelewa ya kuwa kuna country of origin. Huyu refugee ama huyu ambaye ni mkimbizi, jambo ambalo linamzuia kuenjoy zile rights ni sababu yake ya kuwa mkimbizi. Pengine ni vita, pengine ni kulengwa kwa njia moja au nyingine, pengine ni instability ama kukosekana kwa amani katika nchi ile. So hivi vitu vyote, lakini tunatambua kama yeye ni wa Haiti, yeye ni wa Haiti, ingawaje ni mkimbizi katika camp fulani, kama ni Dadaab, kama ni Kakuma. Tunasema huyo ni mkimbizi, yuko mahali fulani, wa asilia ya Kikongo, wa asilia ya Kiburundi, wa asilia fulani. Sasa tukishafikia hapo, sasa inatuleta kwa hii swali, yeye na mtu ambaye ni Mkenya wamepata mtoto.
Ndio.
Sheria ilikuwa inasema vile tu ambavyo tumesema kwa sasa. Lakini ikawa mambo ya haki za kibinadamu, hawezi kuenjoy rights ambazo zinapatikana na kuwa katika nchi yake. Na hayuko katika nchi yake, yeye ni mkimbizi. Tusipompatia yule mtoto ile root or identity, tunamwacha mtoto anaumia. Hivi basi ndio maana sheria ikaja na hakimu akaamua ya kuwa kulingana na haki za kibinadamu, yule mtoto anafaa kupewa citizenship ama uraia wa nchi ambayo imehost, ambapo sasa tunazungumzia Kenya. Sababu Kenya, you give birth the refugee of whichever origin, they do not have the right that citizens are given in their country for one reason or another. That is why they are a refugee. That's why they are there. So it leaves the children in limbo. Let's say the person who had this child with this refugee, for instance, is a mother.
Yeah.
And the father is the one who is a refugee.
Yeah.
We live in a patriarchal society where you find that everything is, most things in terms of identity and roots, sorry, they stem back or they go back to the father.
Yeah.
This father has no roots. This father has no citizenship. So where does that leave the child? Is it the mistake of the child? Is it an error somewhere? That is why the law comes in to fix those aspects that are there, because a child cannot be roaming around in a refugee camp without citizenship.
So how was it? Because that's actually very dire, because how has it been before this ruling was made? Because this was made last week.
Yes.
How have these kids been living? And even when it comes to going to school and the opportunities that should be available to them, how has it been?
The situation actually with the refugee and the status that they are given, the refugees are given a special status of a refugee status.
Okay.
A refugee may enjoy certain rights, but they are not full rights that are enjoyed by a citizen. So like a refugee cannot vote. On what basis would they getting into a voter database? They do not have identification documents. So how would they get to attain identification documents?
Yeah.
A child is born, lives in the refugee camp for 18 years. So when they attain the age of 18, they've studied at the refugee camp, going through the benevolent organizations, charity. Let's say a school has been set up, volunteers have been teaching them and all that. So they've attained the age of 18. What do they do after that?
Yeah.
Are they supposed to just again continue living in limbo? That's where registration comes in. When they make an application for registration, you're given these options. Give us your route. Tell us who your father was. Let your father bring their ID. They don't have.
Yeah.
So you find that you cannot register. So you have a huge number of unregistered people moving around.
Yeah.
Then this is where the law now comes to cure this. Then they say, no, we need to give these people an identity. We need to give them citizenship, because they can contribute in terms of human resource to this country.
Yeah.
Yes.
Could you break down now the actual case?
Yes.
Of the lady. It mentions a lady. She was born in Dadaab to a Kenyan father and Somali refugee mother.
Yes.
Let's break that down.
Now, it's exactly the way we were trying to give like a scenario. We know that human beings are social beings. The people living around, first of all, we have to understand that that area is a host destination, because there are the locals, and then there is what is hosted there is the refugee camp. So the aspect of fraternization has to be there. That is how you find that people give birth and then
Yes.
and all of that. In certain dire instances, you are finding that other people would be taken advantage of. They would give birth to children, and I've handled one case where someone gave birth to 6 children. The father is Kenyan. The mother was a Somali refugee, exactly like this case. And then, this case is reversed, but the children were all taken away from the refugee camp and then taken to a different town. And then here came the legal tussle. The mother now no longer wants to be with the father of the children, but now they have a legal custody battle in court.
Yeah.
So there's one aspect where these children are registered as Kenyans. The other side, their mother says, but these children are not Kenyan. I did not give this consent for them to be registered as Kenyans because I am a refugee from Somalia. My intention of being there is that I've found an opportunity to go to to go to a Western country. I'll not name the country.
Yeah.
But I have already had my papers.
So now she wants to live with the kids.
Yes. But how can the kids live? They have to go back to the camp so that they can be processed from the camp so that they get out. This father says, I have provided a safe and good environment for the children in Kenya.
Yeah.
They're in school. I'm well capable of taking care of them. And the children are studying here. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So the court had to decide on the best interest of these children.
So in that case,
so that gives you
this
like a scenario like what you have right now, where you're looking at a child. The child, like in this instance, she was claiming that his registration of the children to be Kenyans was not procedural. And he's saying, but I'm Kenyan, I have my ID, and I obtained birth certificates for them, and they're in school. And her, she was saying, I was processing passports for them under a refugee status. So you have children who have a refugee status, and they also have birth certificates. Sorry, I cut you short.
No, that's complicated. No, I was just trying to understand, because it's like the children don't have an identity.
Correct. And that is what the law is coming to cure. That is what the learned judge was thinking, that children under the Constitution have a right to identity.
Yeah.
So you have to give them that identity from the onset. If the laws were put in place properly, it would be that give them either the citizenship of the refugees or the citizenship of the person who is the host nation.
Okay.
And how would they get the benefits that accrue to them if they are given the citizenship of the refugees while in a camp?
Yeah. Well, we are speaking to an advocate of the High Court, that is Lawrence Obonyo, and they're looking at a ruling that was made by the High Court last week granting Kenyan citizenship to children born to Kenyan nationals and refugees. It's a bit complicated, but it's something that happens a lot. When we get back, I want us to go back to, we've had stories of British soldiers.
Yes.
And the kids born in Kenya as well. Yeah. Where do we stand with that? What question do you have? 0700917917. Good morning.
Yeah.
Now, the High Court made a landmark ruling granting Kenya citizenship to children born to Kenyan nationals and refugees. And this is what we're looking at right now.
Yes.
I want us to look at, because there are a lot of cases that look like this. So there's a story here, but took atrocities. And it said, disowned mixed race children of British soldiers in Kenya cry out for justice. Hundreds of mixed race children fathered and disowned by British soldiers once stationed in Kenya continue to push for justice from the UK government after decades of being denied their rights. Now, for children, these kids who were born of British soldiers, but they're born here.
Yes.
What's their citizenship? right?
Yes.
Like, who is responsible?
Again, we go back to what the society expects and what the reality is.
And I think naturally the society expects that you take the side of the father.
Correct. That's why we're saying the society is patriarchal on that angle. But that is just an expectation of the society. The law operates on its own parameters. And the law says that you have to have been registered. So if it's a very unfortunate situation where you find that the circumstances of birth of these children may vary from consensual to non-consensual.
Yeah.
It's a wide range of atrocities that are still being handled at different levels. But if you're looking at this aspect of them trying to lobby or petition the British government to come in, it's not supposed to be handled in a manner that is like fighting for a social right. This is a very individual kind of right that you're looking at.
Yeah.
It is very individual between person A and person B, person X and person Y. Because you find that the circumstance, if indeed someone sired a child with a local lady and the circumstances that this person was just stationed here for a short while, then the responsibility is on this person to make an application to that foreign jurisdiction, because the embassy cannot even get on private civil matters. the High Commission, the UK High Commission cannot even get into that. It's a normal individual civil matter between two people. So what they need to be advised is that they need to not lobby, but they need to make applications on individual basis so that you represent individual cases. If you know that it's person X and maybe they are denying paternity, they would be subjected to the usual DNA test. If you know that your mother told you that your father was XYZ, then you just write to the embassy at this time, the High Commission, at this time this person was stationed here, there was this responsibility that was, so you just ask for the basic information that will allow you to lodge a civil suit privately so that you can get assistance from the court.
Okay.
Because if you're now looking for citizenship, then citizenship has to be a different thing. You cannot just be granted citizenship because someone was passing through and all that.
Yeah.
You're born here, you've been granted Kenyan citizenship by virtue of birth, and also that your mother is a Kenyan.
Yeah.
You have registered in one way or the other. Then you have to retain that. If you want assistance and everything, then that comes at a later stage by an order of the court.
Okay, so because the reason I say this happens a lot,
Yes.
I want you to break it down for somebody who's dating a foreigner, right?
Yes.
I'm in a relationship with a foreigner. They're not a Kenyan citizen,
Yes.
right? And we're looking at getting into something long term.
Yeah.
What then should I consider before? Because it seems so complicated. And we feel like, okay, once I get married to Ghana, Ghana is not a Kenyan, our child would automatically be a Kenyan citizen. Or if we feel like Ghana, again, is a British citizen, then we're like, okay, then that place offers better opportunities. So we would want to opt for that. What should we look at?
Okay. I'll try and make it as short as possible.
Please.
because there's so many nuances to this. But if we look at it in a very short way, if someone is dating a foreigner, and the plan is to have a long-term relationship or have a family out of this, then just do not bypass the normal procedure. Get into a union which is recognizable by law. That is a marriage.
Okay.
Before you get married to a foreigner, you have to have the foreigner or yourself bring in what we call a certificate of no impediment. A certificate of no impediment confirms that this person is not married within their jurisdiction and you're not married from your jurisdiction, so that you don't have these instances where someone is calling you their wife or you call or their husband, yet in another jurisdiction they are legally married to someone and in a regime that does not allow for even polygamy. Okay. So therefore, you need to do your background check. You need to do your homework to ensure that this is like that. Then when you get married in a jurisdiction such as Kenya, ensure that you register your marriage certificate within that other jurisdiction. All these things are available. You get married here in Kenya, it's a garden wedding and everything. You've invited a few people and all that. After that, take that marriage certificate. Take it to the Foreign Affairs Office. Let it be signed and stamped. Send a copy to the High Commission. And then they can send it to the Attorney General back in whichever country so that it's sealed and it's registered in their documentation. This grants not only the parties to this marriage the rights that are accorded in a union, but also the children. So we will not have issues where people are running to court to say that, but our child was born this way and I expect this way and then the other person says, I cannot, I'm married. I cannot do this, I am married. Even if it comes to my embassy or my country, I'll be told to take care of you the way I can take care of a stranger. So you have to go through this entire process. But let's say, for one reason or another, you have not done this. A child is born, because a child is sinless. And then you want to get the rights of this child. again, have your what you want written, and then you present it to court to get a specific order that can be enforced through the jurisdiction of the different country.
Yeah.
For instance, if you want a child to be registered as a citizen of a European country, why? Then move the court, say that for this and this reason I want this and this. Then obtain an order. When you serve it upon the embassy or the consulate, then it's taken through the channels and then registration is done. If you don't do that, you subject yourself at the mercy of the embassy. And I've seen so many people make applications that are rejected. You're told, do a DNA test. After that, get us a court order. After that, do this and this. And then you're told, yes, the child can be registered, but you cannot be even granted a visa.
Oh.
So would you be willing to give away your 1-year-old child to a foreign jurisdiction, and yet you are not allowed to?
Yeah.
So you have to look at the full picture, and this is what most people go wrong, and then you end up in a long-standing battle that even if you camp at the embassy cannot help you.
Yeah.
Because citizenship has to be a process that has to be followed through what is laid down procedure by the foreign provisions of that particular country.
Okay.
And this applies across the board. This is just touching at the top, but there are so many intricate things that we can look at within that. For instance, consent to travel. If you put it in such a way that you gave birth to a child with person X, you force their names into the birth certificate. When you're trying to get a visa or a passport, and you're told, give us the father's consent, they're nowhere to be found. You are very happy to put their name, but they're nowhere to be found, or they say, I don't have anything to do with that person. Then you're left to go back to court to obtain an order of sole custody so that you can actually sign as an individual. It takes time, it costs money.
Hey, that's a whole different conversation, because I remember we had a guest who did that, who told us about going for sole custody, and for her reason was to be able to travel with her kids.
Yeah, it's very basic.
So I think we'll talk about that as well, applying for that. Salim, you had a question.
Yeah.
You seem very uncomfortable.
Very. Haya maneno leo yamenichanganya asubuhi. And I am not very comfortable na lawyer Lawrence.
Pole. Mimi si mwandishi wa sheria.
Sasa,
yes.
Swali lilikuwa kuna kiumbe alipata mimba within the borders of Kenya.
Naam.
Akabeba ujauzito, akasafiri, akaenda Marekani.
Naam.
Wacha nitaje jimbo hapo, Wisconsin.
Yes, Wisconsin.
Yes, hapo.
Yes.
Akajifungulia huko.
Ndio.
Na wakasema mtoto ni Marekani.
Ndio.
Na huyu mchizen ambaye amebaki huko Kenya, anadai mtoto ni wake.
Ndio.
Na ni Mkenya. Lakini mama amesema ni Marekani. Na wa Marekani wenyewe wanasema ni Marekani.
Ndio.
Hii inakaaje? Na
sorry. Maliza swali.
Na huyu mchize akitaka kufuatilia kupata haki inakuaje? Maana tayari ushasema kwanza ni ngumu.
Haya, pole sana. Sasa jambo la kwanza, iwapo yule mwanadada aliyekuwa mjamzito alisafiri akiwa amepata visa ile wa Marekani wanaita green card ama relocation visa, basi kwa wakati huo hiyo inampatia uraia wa Marekani. Hivyo basi yule mtoto akizaliwa na amezaliwa Marekani,
ndio
atakuwa Marekani.
Point number 1, tick, ni Marekani.
Ni Marekani.
because the mom got a green card.
Thereby changing the citizenship.
Okay.
Then kunacho kipengee cha kisheria ambacho Wamarekani wamekuwa nacho kwa muda mwingi sana.
Ndiyo.
Ambapo saa hizi huyu rais wa sasa ndiye alikuja akaisitisha. Hakuibatilisha, ameisitisha kwa muda. Ya kuwa si kila mtu amezaliwa Marekani ni Marekani.
Tuendelee.
Lakini kipengee hicho kilikuwa hapo mwanzo. Sasa utapata kama mimi nilikuwa nimeenda katika visa ama ya usafiri. Nimesema naenda tu kusafiri ama na pengine na mke wangu na yu mjamzito na ajifungue kule. Tuko katika wasafiri. Hatuwezi kupewa hiyo kulingana na
mtoto
kanuni za kulingana na kanuni za sasa.
Lakini pale awali
watu walikuwa wanatumia kipengee hicho kujaribu kupata mpenyo ili mtoto apate uraia. Sasa iwapo kulingana na mfano sasa wako, mtoto ndio ni Marekani. Mama ni Marekani. Hii haimuondoi baba kuwa baba ya yule mtoto. Baba bado ni baba.
Ni baba ya mtoto wa Kimarekani.
Haya. Hiyo tumeweka tick kwa jambo la pili. Jambo la tatu, huyu atapataje haki yake?
Huyu baba
sasa haki yake mwanzo lipi? Nataka kujua hiyo haki yake.
Nilikuwa nafikia hapo. Haki yake ya kwanza ni kule kutambulika kama baba ya mtoto, ili yule mtoto apate ile haki ya kuwa na heritage ya kujulikana.
Hajarithi tena heritage.
So haki yake ni kama aiko kwa birth certificate. Jina yake iko kwa birth certificate ya mtoto.
Ya baba ya mtoto Marekani.
Ndio. Halafu nitawapa mfano sababu kuna mfano mzuri.
Yes.
Halafu haki yake nyingine ni ya kumjua na ku-access yule mtoto.
Ndiyo.
Hata kama ni kwenye video, hata kama ni kumtembelea, that is the right to access.
Video. Wakili.
The right to access. Yes.
The right to access.
I like this conversation.
Alright? Hiyo ni haki yake.
Yes.
Haki ya tatu ni kumshughulikia yule mtoto.
Thank you. I know you are heading there.
Akiwa Wisconsin Marekani.
Akiwa Wisconsin, haki yako ya kumshughulikia. Ni haki yako.
Ni haki
ya kumshughulikia mtoto
Marekani.
Akiwa kule
mimi nikiwa Mkenya.
Yes.
Naam.
Wewe kama Salim.
Kama baba.
Kama baba
mtoto Mkenya.
Yes.
Jambo la muhimu sana lazima niseme. Ili uweze kupata haki yako,
ndio
itakuwa vema ufanye kuandikisha kesi au ripoti kule Umarekani. Not here.
Niandikishe huko.
Wacha.
To who?
Through the
who
embassy.
Is he addressing? Like who is he addressing?
He's addressing what we call the DCS, the Department of Children's Services. You are also addressing, utaandika barua ukiwa unaweza ombi katika their district court.
Ya huko Wisconsin.
Huko. Na mahali patatu ni kupitia the consulate.
Okay.
Alright?
Consulate ya Marekani.
Ya Kenya kule Marekani.
Ya Kenya huko Marekani.
Ndio. Sasa unaandika ya kuwa wewe unataka kutimiza haki zako hizi tumeziongelea. Sababu ni moja.
Yes.
There's a very good reason. There's a provision of law through precedence. Unajua kisheria tuko na vipengee ambavyo vimeandikwa kwenye sheria, vipengee vya sheria, lakini kuna vile vinapatikana kupitia kesi. Kama hii kesi tulikuwa tunazungumzia. Hiyo kesi imeshaweka kipengee fulani ambacho lazima kifuatwe. Hakiko kwenye vitabu vingine, lakini iko kutokana na kesi. Kuna kesi ambazo zimeandikishwa ya kuwa wakati mtoto hayuko katika jurisdiction ya Kenya, ili kushughulikia hali yake vizuri, ni vizuri yule ambaye anataka kushughulikia haki hizo aweze kuandikisha katika foreign jurisdiction, especially mambo ya custody, maintenance na well-being ya mtoto.
Ndio.
Unanipata?
Hako well-being.
Sasa hapo ndipo sasa wewe inakulazimu ama
inanihitaji
ukiwa na haja
nifunge safari
uandikishe upewe nafasi ya ku
Wisconsin County.
Yes, and you have to be able. You have to be ready to take care of the
fly.
child. No, don't forget flying fast. You have to be able
siku
to.
hizi tuko na online
Yes.
courts
There's-
unajua
Yes, there's
Ni
child maintenance
Marekani.
there. So
Ni Marekani. Wacha ni Marekani.
wacha ikae.
lakini vile vile tumesema msumeno unakata mbele na
Na nyuma.
Na nyuma.
hata huyo mtoto ama mama yake ana haki ya kuitisha hivyo vile vile umeitisha yeye
Yes.
aitishe kutoka kwako.
Sawa. Akiitisha mimi niko hapa nasubiri.
Thank you so much.
Sasa amekubali, si mfano ni yeye sasa.
Yeah. Tukakubali kutoka Tanzania tukaenda Marekani.
Yeah.
Everything you do in darkness. Thank you so much, Lawrence, for
You're
making
most
time today.
welcome. You're most welcome.
Now, for anybody, you know what? Because Lawrence is very passionate about children matters.
I am.
Yes, you deal with a lot of cases. You handle so many of such cases.
Yes.
Yeah. For you to reach out, if you're struggling with something and your partner does not want to, you gave birth, they don't want a child maintenance, you know,
Or you want to enforce your right.
or you want to enforce your right as a dad, you've been
Yes.
blocked out of seeing your child,
Yes.
right? But you really, really want access.
Unaweza muona kwa video.
Yes, you have Lawrence here. He handles such matters and many, many more.
Yes.
Yes.
You're most welcome.
So Lawrence Obonyo Legal Advocates
Yes.
on all social media platforms.
Yes.
And then he's also located at Imara Building on the 5th floor.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're
That's
here
correct.
to help. So let's support one another.
Asante.
We'll be right back.